Sir Do-It-All here, coming back at you with another project from around the home. So here this morning, I have returned to the gravel project. Stay tuned after the intro to see the method I employed to complete it. As you may recall from a previous video, I had to fill in some crawl space windows with block and mortar before I could do what I am doing here this morning. Go find that video if you're interested in seeing that project. As you may have concluded from my diverse videos that I've posted, I keep pretty busy every day. I have many projects that are on temporary hold until I complete the more pressing tasks before winter weather sets in. To those of you who are waiting for the next episode in the Harley Golf Cart series or the generator install series, just bear with me here. I will be returning to them shortly. As of right now, I need to complete this gravel project. So with a spade in hand and my littlest sidekick at the ready, let's get her done. What you need for this first step is a good landscape shovel. This type of shovel has a straight, flat edge for making square cuts in sod or whatever landscape substrate you're working with. My favorite landscape shovel happens to be this model made by Fiskars. Its most notable feature is its steel handle, which is actually welded to the spade head. You can really pry on those stubborn roots in the ground without fear of breaking the shovel, which is really helpful. For larger sod removing projects, I suggest that you rent a motorized sod cutter. But for this project, the landscape shovel is ideal since I am working only a small area and in such close proximity to my house. Here in my case, I am working next to my sidewalk. So I begin by first working the shovel along the edge of the sidewalk to cut down through the roots of the grass. Then I come back and begin undercutting the sod roots, which then leaves a relatively flat surface in the excavated area. Now that I remove the sod, it's a good time to present additional information that can be helpful to certain viewers. I think I can speak for everyone by saying that we would all like to see our graveled areas continue to look as they did when we first installed them. There are various methods that people have used to achieve this, some methods being more successful than others. Today, however, I want to present a lesser known method to achieve that goal. There are numerous chemicals out there that you can spray on the soil beneath a bed of gravel to keep weeds from sprouting up later on. However, most products marketed for this purpose are designed to only last one season. The developers of these products don't want them to last forever because they want you to keep buying their product every year. These products just don't work for long-term weed suppression. The trick that I'm about to reveal to you will keep those underweeds suppressed for many years to come. If this is what you want, then you need to get your hands on some type of waste oil product. Here I show an area where I once cut out a mulberry tree that had been growing in my chain link fence. After cutting out the roots, I poured about 2 gallons of used motor oil down into the cavity that I had dug around the taproot before I had replaced the dirt that I dug out. Typically, with the black, loamy soil that we have in the central Midwest, the grass and weeds would grow back in 1 or 2 weeks. This was done months ago, and I expect it will look just as it does now in the years ahead. If you change your own motor oil or transmission fluid in your vehicles like I do, you likely have an accumulated supply of waste hydrocarbon fluids sitting around. If you don't have this, you might perhaps have some used frying oil from a deep fryer or maybe a turkey fryer. But if you don't have either of those at your disposal, check around at your local fast food restaurants to see if they will allow you to take their waste frying oil off their hands. Any heavy waste oil will do the job well, but take note that the petroleum-based oils will last many years longer than the plant-based oils. Before you lay down your gravel, once your soil bed is how you want it, pour your waste oil liberally over the entire soil bed. It will soak in a bit, so if you have enough waste oil, I suggest applying a second coat. Unfortunately, at the time of this project, I had no waste oil at my disposal, and being under a time restraint, I had to just install this gravel without the pre-treated soil bed. Scooping and spreading the gravel is pretty straightforward. Just scoop, spread, stomp, and repeat until you achieve the look that you want. Here you are witnessing just one of many work lessons given here to my youngest child. I do the same for all my children. But at the time of this video, my 3 older youngsters were completing their academic lessons inside the house. Yes, we do homeschool. And yes, my wife and I are successful at it. While my little guy is helping me shovel gravel, I want to take a moment to encourage every parent out there who is homeschooling their children or thinking about homeschooling. You need to understand that there is no one else in this world who is more qualified to teach your own children than you. As a matter of fact, there is no one else as aptly capable as you to teach your own children. Confidence is the key to success in every aspect of life, and this applies to homeschooling as well. Just knowing that you are the chosen one in the commission of your child's life skills and education is a confidence that cannot steer you wrong. Self-confidence is the ship wheel that drives the rudder which steers the ship, and willpower is the wind in your sails. Don't get hung up on the technicalities of academia. In other words, don't dwell on the notion of whether or not you hold a teaching degree or that academics were not your strong suit. Many children go through the state's education system without ever holding on to what was taught. Why? Because they were never first taught how to learn. There is far more to a child's development and education than reading, writing, history, science, and mathematics. If a child is guided along a path of studious behavior, they actually begin to teach themselves without even knowing they are doing so. In the early stages of a child's development, just simply prepare them for learning and receiving instruction. Open their eyes to observable phenomena by pointing out details of the observable world around them. Then bring context to the observation by tying it to something else that your child has experienced. But don't make the mistake of dictating everything to them. Give them just enough correlated information to make it intriguing. Just the right amount of intrigue will spur them to ask questions, and it is within these questions that learning begins. A child's own subconscious mind knows best what their conscious mind has yet to comprehend, and the nature of their questions is very telling of their vantage point. You, as their teacher, need only inspire them to ask the right questions. When the child is young, teach them how to source the answer to their questions, how to observe their environment, how to focus, how to study, and most importantly, how to listen to their own heart. So that as they mature, they have already learned how to teach themselves. So be encouraged in your homeschooling pursuits. Be confident and know that you are equipped to teach and guide your child along their destined path. Anyway, back to the project at hand. As for packing down a graduated gravel mix like Road Pack, I usually rent a mechanical compactor to get the job done, especially if the graveled area will have vehicle traffic on it. But since this will not need to support vehicle traffic, I opted to forego the compactor rental and just do my best to stomp it down with the use of a wood timber and human feet. I made out pretty well though. Not everyone has the privilege of employing such an energetic little foot stomper as I have here. As you pack it down, be sure to account for the gravel settling over time. Mounding the gravel just above the surrounding landscape will give it a good chance to level out after a season or two. I selected the Road Pack grade for this project because I wanted a gravel that packs firm. The downside to this variety is that it is extremely dusty and needs a good wash down after compacting it. Some of you watching this video might be asking, why install gravel? Why not just clean it up and grow more grass? It all comes down to a matter of preference, really. I personally do not like having to mow or trim tiny patches of grass like these areas shown in the video. Objects next to the house are the most bothersome, especially since my mower cannot reach the grass in the corners around such objects. I'm not one who just accepts the normal frustrations associated with common tasks. I make effort to correct whatever is an inconvenience to me and my family. In addition to my personal preference with lawn care, we have things such as lawn toys, lawn chairs, patio furniture, a waste bin, and potted plants that need a place to sit without crowding our small patio space. If these items are left sitting on the lawn too long, they will kill the grass that sits beneath them. So the quickest and cheapest solution is to fill these small patches with gravel. I no longer have to mow them, and they become a place to set things that would otherwise crowd the patio space. It's a win-win in my book. Later that same day, I also gravelled in a small area next to my garage. Here's how the job looked the following day. I hope this project inspires viewers to get out there and do stuff with their own hands. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it unique to your own skill set and tool set. Please like and subscribe and click the bell if you want to be notified of new videos. This is Sir Do-It-All signing out.